Hello everyone, let's start. Yes, so far we have completed the retopology and we have given some textures to the mesh. Now I'll start. We need to improve the textures. Obviously, they are not the final textures, but I'll be working in Substance Painter for sure to complete the textures and not just in Blender because uh, I don't want node based textures. I want the final image textures at end of the day, and I don't like to bake textures in Blender because it takes a huge amount of time to bake. Plus, it's quite irritating. If you guys trust me on that, the people who have done it, they know that it's kind of messy. Even though I'll give you a brief about it, like how to do it, but still I'll be texturing in Substance Painter, and then I'll bring those final textures into Blender. Sorry, but coffee is required to be awake. So let's go. I'll minimize, or I'll have a single screen instead of split screen. This is what we have created. Quite neat. First of all, I'll add a cube maybe, or should I start with a plane? I'll add a plane. I'll go to edit mode, RX90 GZ. Okay, so there is a issue, my cursor was inside that eye, so it was not in the center. The plane didn't came into the center, so I'll first of all press Shift S, cursor to world origin, and then I'll add a plane. We'll put this plane into a cloth collection, new collection, cloth, yeah, or we'll call it clothes instead. Create. I'll go to edit mode, RX90 again, GY to bring it in front. I'll go to front view. I'll move it on Z axis somewhere here. I'll subdivide it, and for most of the people this would be something like it would show something like this. You need to open this menu up. It would be minimized by default, so you need to unminimize it or open the window, whatever it is. And I'll increase the number of count to 8 maybe, or let's do 10. I'll come to front view. I'll scale this on x-axis somewhere here, and come to front view again. I'll go to face select. I'll select these center faces. I'll press X and faces delete, or even these 4 X faces, right? I'll turn on proportional editing. I'll turn transparent view on, and I'll go to edge select and select this entire edge and scale it down a little. Plus I'll select all, move it up to somewhere here. I'll turn on X and Y X mirror. So I'll scale this down as well a little, somewhat like this. And I'll select this edge as well and scale it down to somewhat like this. And we'll do like we might have to adjust things later on, but for now I guess it's okay. I'll duplicate this Shift D and move it along Y axis. I'll rotate this, like first of all I'll turn off the proportional editing, and I'll rotate it on Z axis 180 degrees. I'll tell you why. If I go to this show overlay panel and open the menu, there is an option called face orientation. So the red one is obviously not the good part, it's like the inner part of the mesh, and the rest is like a good part. Like right now, if I show you object, maybe object, okay, no, it's not showing me the blue side somehow. Studio, no. Custom random material, no. I don't know why, but it should be looking completely blue. I guess I have messed up some settings, but it's showing the red part, which is like a good thing, so that we can have an idea what is the inside part of the mesh and what is the outside part of the mesh. And we need to maintain this orientation of the faces, so that while we are rendering, the red part, if the red part is on the outer side, it might be look, come transparent, most probably, something like that, and like there'll be issues later on. So it's better to have the red part inside. So I'll turn off the overlays for face orientation. Now what I'm going to do is show you another one important tool, which is like I'll select all the edges on this corner and all the edges on this corner and press right click and do a bridge edge loops, which would look something like this. And we'll move these a little bit down so that it doesn't overlap with my geometry. And I'll press right click, and what I'm gonna do is, I'll press X and I'll delete only faces, so that there are some edges and not the faces part, because we are going to stitch these two together to make the cloth. This is the basics of cloth designing in Blender that you need to have an idea of. All the people who have done it before might know. And I'll do this again. I'll bridge edge loops and X only faces. What I'm going to do now is come to front view. I'll go to face select. I'll turn on transparent view, and I'll delete half of them from front and back X faces. So I have like the half of it. I'll turn on a modifier which is mirror modifier, I'll turn on clipping. Merge is already on, so I think it will work correctly. Now I'll go to edit mode again. We'll select all these, edge. First we'll go to edge select and select all these edges, put it into a group. This is the data, object data properties, where we'll go and create a vertex group. We'll click on this plus button and we'll name it pin, and we'll assign these edges to the pin group, and we can check if it's working. No, uh, it's adding these as well. Let's check if there'll be problems. I'll try to do it again, but it shouldn't be like, I think it shouldn't be selecting these edges on the corners. It should be just selecting, assigning the center ones only. But let's check what happens. We'll go to the physics, or yeah, physics. Okay, we'll go to physics. We'll turn on cloth modifier. Okay, so now it should always be on 0 or 1, not on like some other keyframe. So we'll go to first keyframe, and then we'll go down and turn this, like open this shape option and put our pin group here, and we'll simply press space bar to start the animation. Okay, nothing happened. I guess because my cloth modifier is after the, okay, yeah, something happened, but it's still not correct. I guess it should be okay. Now it's working somehow. I guess Blender 5.0 is a bit buggy, if I'm not wrong, because like these are stupid issues that I come across again and again. Like I have no reasoning why these things happen, but we have to adjust to the new versions, obviously. If we are okay, so pin group got lost somehow. And when I turn on the pin group, nothing happens. That's sad. Okay, it's not. Oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let me just go to collision. No. Okay, we need to turn on sewing. Sorry, my bad. I didn't turn on the sewing part. Now it should work. Maximum sewing factor, I'm turning it to 10 right now. We'll go to the first frame first, and nothing happens again. I'll turn off this pen, I guess, but then how I would like, oh, it worked. I don't know why. Pen is basic, I guess. Pen is for like keeping the a portion of mesh as is, not like sewing it, but and it sews like sew all the edges that don't have faces, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Like I am doing it after a very long time, so maybe I am wrong, or I am wrong definitely. So let's turn on collision for our main character. I'll click on collision, simple. I'll go to this physics property and turn on collision, so that uh, this mesh doesn't like go, overlap or like go through this character's mesh. And I'll press spacebar again. Okay, nothing happens again. uh, I don't know what's lost. Okay, I need to remove the pen. Okay, so it started working, but the mirror modifier is not clipping it. I guess I'll put the mirror modifier after the cloth modifier, and still it gets uh, distorted somehow, like divided into two parts. Let's just apply this modifier and try this again. Still I don't get it. I'll apply this. Okay, so I did something wrong while deleting the faces. These are extra faces, like 3 X faces, and I'll move these edges G, Y, X and connect them. So one face got lost over here. We can simply like turn on polybuild, go to backside, control 1 on numpad and create this extra face. It's not centrally aligned somehow, which it should be, but no clue why. Okay, so these faces are not connected correctly. Let's go to edge select and turn on our select tool again, and we'll select all the back edges, basically these, because I'm in transparent view I can do that. I'll press GX and move them here like this, and I'll dissolve this vertex. Oh sorry, and it works fine now. Now I can keep the modifier if I'm not wrong. Oh, there is some extra vertex or something. Yes, X dissolve vertex. K connect these two. Now it's fine. I did some mistakes, so you need to correct those mistakes if you do those. I'll press OK again. It's not working. I'll go to physics again and check what's wrong. Maybe cloth modifier is required over up or down. I have no clue. Still not working. What is that I'm doing wrong now? I have no clue, but let's figure it out. It was working like 5 minutes ago and it has stopped working somehow. Okay, so maybe I have to delete the cache. That's what it's saying. So let's do that. Where is cache option here? Uh, delete all dynamics, and still it's not working. Delete bake, or let's just add and like delete that, and we should do it again. I'll put this 10. Still not working. I have no clue why it's happening. Oh, now even the mesh is correct, but I'll just apply this modifier maybe, then still it's not working. Okay, now I'll just delete this pen maybe. What is that I'm doing wrong? Uh, when sewing is on, I thought uh, that I don't have to use these, but let's see. I'll add them to a pen group again. But I think pen is for like not moving them at all, not like for such sewing. Basically we need, okay, so still there is some issue with the mesh. There are some edges and faces that are not connected correctly. So what I'll do is press A, merge by distance, I guess. Yes, removed 8 vertices. So now it's working. Sometimes it's like a painful task to, do what you call like solve the errors. Maybe like the people who do coding, they know there is like a console which gives you errors and you need to fix those errors. Then sometimes it is easier to fix the issues and sometimes it's not. So we are having this issue right now where the shoulder cloth is like uh, going outwards. Now we need to fix that. What we can do is we can come back to the first frame, go to edit mode. I'll select these three. Okay, so X mirror is on. I'll move these. I'll turn on proportional editing and move this on X axis and scale them on X axis as well, a little, somewhat like this. I can move them down to a position like this, and now if I'll play, it's way better than before, and that's what we need. I'll go back to first frame. Now we'll start playing around with the shape of our cloth. I'll move it to something like this and even scale it on X axis so that I get a V shape kind of cloth. And I can like, first of all, I'll select these edges and go to edge loop and say flatten. No, G stretch. Yeah, G stretch worked. I'll move these. Okay, so proportional editing is on, so I'll turn off proportional editing, scale them on X axis again, and we'll keep these as is. Or maybe I'll do this for G stretch these as well, GZ down, scale them on X axis, and I'll try doing it again. So we have a more squared shape at the back and more V shape in the front, which is good, but our cloth is not connecting uh, over here, as the mesh is not that big that it gets connected. So we need to like do some changes. I'll scale these to something like this, and even this, and from back as well, SX a little, and even these SX a little, so that these have enough mesh data to connect to each other. And I'll go to 1 again. Okay, it's better than before, but we need to still increase the scale like something like this, and even with this one, and we'll go back to first frame. Still it's not connecting somehow. I guess if I increase the, and the another issue is that there is too much of space in between. We need to fix this as well. So I'll go back to the first frame. I'll right click and G stretch it, and I'll visually correct it, GY, and R. I'm in front view. Make sure you are in front view, otherwise your angles might change. I can scale this down a little, and even this. And I'll turn on proportional editing and move these a little downwards. And play it again. Now it works way better. It's way closer. The problem is that these are not connecting to, like there is no sewing data for this part which we need to add. I'll go back again to front view and I'll go to edit mode. I'll select these two vertices and press F to add in edge. I'll move it on X axis, move it down on Z axis to somewhat like this, and I'll add a mirror modifier again, and let's check if it works. Yes, it does. I'll play it. Okay, so before like it's overlapping basically, so I need to first of all remove half of the geometry again. I'll go to front view, turn on transparent view, and delete all these vertices, so we have half. And I need to turn on the clipping, and oh, again it's somehow not merging. I'll increase the merge distance, maybe then it works. Still it doesn't. Okay, the clipping is not on again. Oh, why is clipping turned off the moment I... Okay, no clue. This thing never happened in like 4.5. I'm pretty sure about it. Like it works fine. It turns off the clipping somehow. Like I turn it on, and the moment I play the animation and go back to 0, okay, it's still on but not working. Okay, you need to have mirror modifier before the cloth simulation, that's why it wasn't working. So now it does. But now there are issues with, again, with this part which we need to fix. We'll move these on y x-axis to somewhat like this, and even these, and even these, we'll bring it way closer, and I'll scale them down to something like this. Not scale them on y axis basically. I'll bring it closer to the body mesh. Okay, from here I'll just move it, decrease the proportional editing circle and like move it somewhere like this. I'll scale this on y x. Okay, no, I'll use this vertex gx gz. I need to shorten this a little to something like this. So it's a hidden trial kind of thing, but gives a decent shape. This works fine. Still not very accurate, but not bad either. We can add some loops over here, like I'll add few loops on this area and I'll add 2 loops over here, and I'll do the same on the back side as well, and play the animation again. Now it works way better, but there is some issue on the back side that we need to fix. I'll slowly go backward and check what's happening. So I might have to move these faces a little downward so that it adjusts correctly. I'll select these and move them down. I'll right click and I'll G stretch them. Even these I'll G stretch. I'll go to back view, rotate. Okay, I'll turn off the proportional editing and rotate and GZ them down. I'll G stretch them, rotate and move them down. And now if I play the animation, it's better than before. We need to bring this like adjust these vertices a little bit more, or this edge loop. Okay, this one G. Okay, proportional rating on GX. And now if I play, still some issue over here that we need to address, I guess. What I'm gonna do is I'll add a G stretch. Okay, control 1, relax first of all, then flatten on Y. So sometimes we have to do a little bit of hidden trial, definitely, but I'll do SX0. Still didn't work out. SX0. Okay, yeah, it did. Maybe because of proportional editing it didn't happen before the first time. I'll do the same for these SX0 to straighten them, and to these as well SX0 GX, and to these as well SX0 GX. Now I'll rotate them a little bit, somewhat like this, move them back to like here, and these two I'll rotate them a little bit, GX, so they are more like equally distributed, I guess, so they don't mess up too much. Now they work way better than what they were doing before. I'll go to my main body and go to the collision that we have set up. I might have an option to like field absorption is something there, damping thickness outer. Okay, I'll decrease this thickness outer to 0.002 instead of 0.02, and we'll check what the results are. Yes, it's taking way nicer than before. The only thing that we need to work upon is this part and this part. We need to reduce the size of the mesh so that the cloth is not folding on its own. It's kind of sticking to the body. I guess the cloth size is bigger over here, so we'll go back to 1 again, and what we need to do is like we'll simply select all these and even these and turn on proportional editing, GZ. We'll scale them down and we'll take all of them by selecting select all of them by selecting A and move all of them on Z axis a little and play them. Now it's taking way better than before, even on the back. We can reduce the size of this edge loop. I'll do GX to this one, and now I'll play the animation. This works better. We need to fix this part as these are like too close to each other. I'll move them down. Proportional editing on, GZ, 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 GG instead. I'll move these downwards to somewhere here, and even these. And move these down as well a little bit. Now they were way better than before from where we started. Yes. We can add a subdivision surface modifier. But we can add this like before our cloth modifier. Okay, no. We'll add it after the cloth modifier to get better results. We can smooth things out like shade smooth, so it gives us some basketball t-shirt kind of cloth right now. And what I'm going to do on the bottom now is like we'll select all these, extrude it and scale it. Okay, so I didn't do that for the back face, so I'll select all of them, extrude them down, scale it a little bit. I'll scale them on x-axis maybe, and I'll delete this only face. And now what I'm going to do is I'll pin these 4 and these 4. Okay, some issue over here that we need to address. It should be connecting down like this, so I'll add the knife tool and make a edge like this, and I'll to select this one and dissolve edge. And I'll like select all these and make a group pin, and I'll first of all select all, remove it from everything from the pin data group and select all these. Why didn't okay, it's working. Control Shift and select and assign to pin just to check, select, yes, it's working. What I'm going to do now is I'll go back to the cloth modifier that we have set up and assign this pin here, and let's see. So it's working. It's giving me like a fake skirt shape as well, but it's like on this part it's not working correctly. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, we'll start even UVing it out. Like I'll select all the edges like this and right click, mark scene. And now what I can do is I'll select these two, move them up, and I'll select these two. I'll turn on the proportional editing and move it on the x-axis so that it connects perfectly, and even these two on, move them on x-axis, create a bigger gap so that it looks like it's a skirt down there. Okay, this part needs to be even bigger so that it connects. I'll move it on x-axis more and play it. Yes, it works better, but now what I can do is I'll move them somewhere like this. Okay. It's worse than before. I'll move them down to somewhere like this. Okay, now it's better because like I'm going to finalize this at a certain point. and then I'll be like doing some sculpting on it, adding some details and stuff, and we'll be basically transferring the weights from our like rig that we are going to do on the character to the cloths later on. So this is not the final thing, this is like having a base, adding a base to the character, and this is one way of doing it. There are like there might be 100 ways to do the same task, so uh, it's totally up to you how you plan it. Like I mostly do a base like this, and then I do the rest of the cloth design like however I want to. This is not the only way, that's what I want to say. We can smooth things out and it will work fine, no issues. What I'm going to do now is go back to the first frame. In edit mode, I'll select all these edges and all these edges. Come to front view, extrude them up till here, rotate them, scale them to something like this. And what I'm going to do now is I'll be adding like I'll be marking their seams first. Mark seam, that's really important. And now I'll be like adding loops, as many as like how many loops are coming. Yes, 8 cuts. Like on the top over here we can see how many cuts we are adding. I'll add 10 on the back, and I'll add 10 in the front as well. And then at this one, I'll go to select faces mode first, and I'll select the entire loop by pressing double clicking on these faces, and then I'll X and I'll delete all the faces, only faces, not the edges. We can adjust let's try it first. I guess that would be a better way to solve things. Okay, so these are not connected right now, so let us connect these as well. We'll go to edge select, select all these edges and all these edges. We'll press right click, and we'll go to bridge edge loops and X only faces, and then for the down part we'll do this again. We'll select all. Here it is like okay up till here, and like bridge edge loops, you can check if it's correct or not, and then we can do, we'll delete only faces and come out of edit mode, and okay, so it works something like this, which is not bad. What I can do is I'll select all these edges, scale them down with proportional editing. Okay, now I'll scale them down on Z axis, and I'll select all these edges and scale them down a little on Z axis as well. And now I'll go back to the first frame and play it. Yes, it's more closer, but like these are not connecting, so we need to increase the size of these faces, maybe this one. SZ again, it sticks better, still not accurate enough. I think I need to first of all address the issue, like the edges are not like completely straight, they should be a bit on the clear side, I guess. So let's fix this issue first. Like I'll right click and G stretch them. I'll select all now because that would do. Let's see what happens. Okay, and we'll do this to the backward edges as well, on the backhand cloth basically. Right click and G stretch it, and even this one. Okay, yes, finally it's more clearer visually as well. I'll select by going to face select. I'll press on this corner one, and with control shift I'll select the last one. The entire panel would get selected. I'll come to the side view. I'll turn off proportional editing, rotate it, and on RZ I'll rotate it again, and GY I'll bring it back, something like this. And I'll select all these edges and these edges, and on the back as well, and press G stretch them with loop tools, and even these these I'll make them more straight so that they don't do a weird look. They are like straighter, like we have a more straighter circle around the cloth, not like falling down somewhere like this. So you can understand that part. So I'll G stretch them, and now if I go back to the first frame and play the animation, it works way better than before. Oh, actually it is not. So we need to fix it, I guess. We need to actually space them a little bit more. This part is also kind of like hidden trial based, so it might work on the first go, it might not work on the first go. It's totally like not stopping basically. If that would be the best way to work with this workflow, just keep on doing it again and again to fix things up. I might have to like push it on the right side as well, this edge loop, so that it connects perfectly over here. And I might have to move from the upper end, I might have to move it back like on the positive x axis if I'm not wrong, or y x axis. So what I'm going to do is I'll select these two. Actually I'll one second, I'll go to transparent view and select all the faces of the front part of the cloth and not the hand, and I'll hide it for some time. What I'm going to do now is I'll go to my edge select, vertex select from the upper part. I'll be like moving them on x-axis to something like this, and on the bottom I'll be moving them to something like this. Instead of selecting that, I need to select this one, GX, and now if I, okay, it has gone way too far, I guess. We need to fix that again. We'll select these two, GX, to something like this, and we'll play it again. Much better than before. So the thing is like we are subdividing it after. Let me just turn off the subdivision surface and play it again. Okay, so that works even worse. So I'll take the subdivision modifier, I'll put it on the top. We'll first subdivide it and then mirror it. Let's see what happens. Okay, still not happy with the results. I'll alt H everything for a moment. Okay, so something is, these two edges need to be corrected. GYX, sorry, and even this one and this one. So I've got some basic dress setup. We'll be definitely improving this, so it's just a start. Don't get confused like what the hell is happening or something like that. We'll be improving it to like a crazy level. Just stick with the process is what I'm going to suggest you. Let me just text one person. And I'll be sharing it. Let's see if what we can do now. Okay, One of my friend is texting me right now, so that's why I'm getting distracted. Nothing much. So people can ask me questions, but again they might have to like be online first. आई गेस साहिल अगर देख रहा है तो भाई लाइक कर दियो या टेक्स्ट कर दे चैट में, पता तो चले कि तू ऑनलाइन बैठा हुआ है कि नहीं. I start speaking in Hindi for some of my friends, I guess. I'm just creating a character, bro, for the short movie I'm making. I showed you before like a bit of it, I guess, like a little bit. I shared a movie right with you a few time back, if you remember. So this is the second model I'm creating. This is like the niece of that character basically that I'm developing right now. So I'm doing the cloth simulations right now. So see, something like this. I'll be developing the clothing of this character even better now. Like this is just the base of it. So I'll be moving these edges to somewhere like this, and so this is like the shirt plus the skirt area. I'll be adding a belt over here later on, and I'll be giving her a pants as well. Obviously she would not be naked. uh, so I'll hide this part for now, and I'll be making another plane. I'll be adding, rotating it on x-axis, moving it in front, uh, move this part over here, scale it down, scale it on x-axis, gz. I'll add a loop, scale it like this, and then I'll select this edge, rotate, okay. So first of all, let me just delete this part, this half basically, and I'll add a mirror modifier. And now I'll extrude it to somewhere here and add loops. I'll move this backwards to somewhere here and duplicate it on y-axis, rotate it on, okay, so I don't think it will, let me just check the face orientation first. So let me rotate it on z axis 180, oh sorry, RZ 180. Okay, so this is the issue. that we need to fix. I'll turn off proportional editing and select all these upper faces and move them on the X, and I'll turn on clipping now. GX, yes, it's fine, it's working. GX again. I'll turn on proportional editing, increase the circle with my mouse roller, I guess, wheel, basically mouse wheel. और भाई कैसा चल रहा है, काम वाम सही चल रहा है तेरा? छुट्टी हो गई तेरी, अभी तक नहीं हुई? So we'll, like we did before, we'll bridge edge loop these edges, and X we'll delete only faces, and we'll do this for this area as well. We'll select all these edges by selecting the first edge and Control Shift plus left mouse button on the last edge. We'll bridge edge loop these, and X only faces, we'll delete them. And now what I'm gonna do is I'll play the animation. I'll first of all, I might have to like add a pin group, so I'll go to object data properties. In vertex group I'll add a pin group because I need it to stick on this area. So we'll add a cloth simulation, yes, and we'll go down to the pin group, add this pin group, and turn on sewing and sewing factor to 10 for the start, and we'll go back to the first frame and try it. Okay, so the jeans is still falling. So we'll go back to the first frame again, and I'll move this a little bit up and scale it down, and just to correct the spacing I'll select all these and move them on x-axis. Okay, that's too much, so select all of them and scale it on x-axis again. I guess this much would be fine. I'll select the I'll deselect this and SX. Okay, I'll select the faces this time for like pen, because I think the edges are not working correctly. So I'll go back to my I'll be selecting all these faces and adding them, assigning them to this pen group, and now I'll go back to the physics tab, and under cloth obviously pen group is selected, but I'll select it again and let's try to simulate. Okay, so something like this happened, so we need to correct it. I guess faces won't do. I'll deselect them basically, or remove these from the pen group. I'll only select the upper one, or what we can do is scale them closer to the body, SY. I'll select the back cloth and move it closer to the body, somewhat like this, and I'll assign it to the pin group again. Just to check, I'll click on select. Okay. Can I deselect this edge or remove it? Now I'll select it. Okay. We can do this. And let's try to. Okay, now it works better than before, but still not giving the right results. We need to do some more hidden trial, I guess. First of all, I'm going to add a subdivision surface to it so that it looks smoother. I'll go back to the first frame. I might have to adjust few things. GX. Okay, I have to turn off the proportional editing first. Still, it's giving some weird issues, like it's not merging correctly. I'll okay increase the merge distance to 0.1 at least, and now I'll add this pin group again. But again, if I add this one to like the pin group, I don't think it will be like having any effect. Like it won't be showing. Then I don't know why uh, it's behaving like that. But let's try to animate. Okay, so I might manually fix this, but it won't be a nice way to do it. Okay, so what we can do is we'll apply this cloth modify. I'll be removing everything from the pen group first of all, and we'll be using the animation data. Like if the final thing looks fine on the 27th frame, we'll stick to that, something like this. So we need to increase the distance between the uh, cloth basically. 1 second, let me show you. I'll scale it on x-axis. I'll turn on proportional editing and scale it on x-axis, and I'll simulate it again, and we'll check like on this frame it's better, but we need to increase the scale this edge loop basically, so that it gets sewed properly, and even this one. And we have some issues over here on the bottom that we need to work upon. So let me just first work on okay. Uh, Let me turn off the face orientation so that it's easier to look at, because looking at red color is kind of painful at times. I'll come to front view, select these both vertices and move them up to something like this. And again, something messed up, so I might have to use my knife tool to fix it. I'll remove this, I'll dissolve this edge basically by pressing X, and X dissolve edge, and I might have to correct these as well. I'll go back to I'll go to back view basically by pressing control and numpad 1, and now I'll use my knife tool to add a edge basically, and I'll select this edge, dissolve this edge by pressing X, and I'll again use knife tool to add the two edges that we need, and I'll remove this, I'll dissolve this edge so that the mesh is correct, and the two faces that we need, two edges that we need to correct are these and this one, I guess. So I'll okay, so instead of proportional editing, what I'm going to do is I'll select these four edges and again turn on proportional editing and move them a little bit outwards. So let's check. Okay, on fourth frame it's kind of close, but at this area it's like the distance is just too much, so we need to scale the distance of front and back cloth so that it doesn't get messed up, like it's doing like something is happening. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, we can fix it. Definitely we can go back to the first frame. It's kind of a hit and trial process. I have already told you we need to keep on repeating some task. I'll go to back view again and move these vertices something like this, and even for the front view we'll move them and scale them down basically. GX, I'll turn on transparent view. I'll rotate them a little. I'll select these again and rotate them, move them on x-axis. I'll move this vert as well, and let's try again. So it's not acting correctly. Let me check if, okay, what we can do is we can bring the back cloth even closer to the body so that it doesn't, you know, just fall off that quick. So I'll select all the vertices. I'll come to side view and select all these verts, even this one, and move them like on y-axis to something like this and rotate it. Yours will come first, brother. I have set an alarm of 12 o'clock on 23rd or like 24th at night, but Indian time. Okay, so I'll be calling you on Indian time and not like uh, your time zone. I have no idea about it, so spare me on that. I'll bring the cloth closer to the mesh, and even here I'll, okay, select these two, come to side view, bring these closer, and even these vertices, GY, or something like this, and let's, okay, we are in edit mode, maybe that's why it didn't work. So it's working better than before. We need to just keep on doing it a few time more to like have a better look. There is another way to do these things, like we can directly add a, like select the entire mesh, like maybe we should do it that way only. Like this is like quite challenging for some. Let me show you one more way to do it. I'll select my character and go into like the, what you call, edit mode, and I'll go to first face select mode, and as I have already marked seams on it, I'll just press L and select few that I need to like add pants to. So I'll select these two loops as well, and maybe this one as well, like, okay, and I'll duplicate it, P2 separate selection, and I can go back into the edit mode of this one now and like press A and Alt S it. This is like another way of scaling. It scales along the normal, so this might be a better fix, I guess. We can just simply add a texture to it, and like we can work around on this one, but like that was uh, more of a physics kind of way to add a cloth, but it wasn't working quite well. Uh, I know, bro. But can you tell me by Indian time, your birthday will be like on 24th by Indian time, or like 25 by Indian time? I have no clue about it. Like, uh, you have a 12-hour, we have a 12-hour difference if I'm not wrong. So, uh, I don't know whether like it'll be 25th in India when they'll be at 24th there, or like uh, I might have to, do some Google research about it, so you can tell me directly, because you know all this better, because you might have struggled a lot about it, right, Sahil? So this might be a better pant than that, so I'll not be using that one for sure now because it's taking way too long and I don't want to spend too much time on doing same repetitive task. Oh, great, bhai. So how are you planning to enjoy that day? Are you going to do some party or shit, or like stay at home, or you will be working that day? 24th is a Saturday or a Sunday. You will be at home, right? By the way, I'll drink on your birthday for sure, bro. We'll do a video chat, or like we'll connect on Instagram video, maybe sit together and just have few drinks. Oh shit, man. So you would be working, but we can connect on Sunday, like tomorrow. Tomorrow we can connect, right? Where is my cloth? Over here. So this one. So let's just apply this, I guess. We'll apply this and join the edges for once, like all these which are not connected perfectly, we'll merge them together and start adding details to the dress. Actually, I think I'll be adding like a collar to it, so I'll add some faces right now on the top, like which I deleted in the start. I'll go to edit mode and like uh, go to back view by pressing Control Numpad 1. I'll minimize the timeline for now and use Polybuild tool to add few more faces, something like this. Or maybe one more. I'll remove this, like I'll go to edge select mode. I don't know. Okay, still something weird happened. I don't know why. I'll go to first select tool and select all these edges and remove the mark seam from here, clear seam it, and add a seam over here, mark seam it here, right? And now if I play the animation, it would look somewhat like this. We'll fix that point. Let me just finish, like apply the modifiers. Should I apply the subdivision surface? Okay, something weird happened. I'll go back to my timeline to 1 and play it again, or maybe I'll use the subdivision surface later on. So let's move it down and I'll press Ctrl A on cloth and mesh. We'll get something like this, the final mesh, and we need to connect these together. So I'll simply merge them by distance. Okay, no, merge them at center. We might have to do this a lot of times now. Quite a bit of process, but we can do it. We can select all these and merge at center. Merge at last, and we have to just keep on doing it till we finish at least on the one side, and then we can simply like mirror it on the left side. Okay, merge at center, again select them, merge at center, keep on doing it. Okay, these are the two that I need to merge. These are the 4 that I need to merge at center, right? And these merge at center, merge at center, merge these 2 at center, merge at center. So that's why I didn't apply the subdivision surface. It would have been very painful to do so many merging basically. Merge at center, merge at center. So I have like add-ons for doing these stuff as well. Like instead of using the Blender vanilla system, I'm using Blender vanilla just so that people who don't have add-ons can also like look how I'm working and like learn from it, because like I have few add-ons which are way easier to work with. I have a cloth add-on, I have like a hair card add-on which like do the hair way quicker than what Blender does basically, like vanilla Blender does. It's totally like everything can be done for like free, but like the steps increases obviously. Like you have to work more and like you have to press more buttons at end of the day compared to like using add-ons. If I'll be using an add-on, I'll be like finishing off this task way faster than like how much time I'm spending right now. So you can understand that by buying add-ons is really important at some point of time, so that you have to work less and you are working faster as well, because like spending so much time on such silly things is like not nice according to me. It's like cost affecting as well. Like the more time you waste, the more money you lose, kind of thing. So you need to, at some stage you should be buying add-ons, but like you should be knowing what you have to buy and like where you have to spend money to increase your speed, etc. So one side is done. So what I'm going to do is I'll come to front view or transparent view. First of all, I'll move this edge down and correct the word down and correct the vertices at the back, because they were overlapping and that's not like nice. I'll select all these vertices X. I'll delete all the vertices, like half of it, and add a mirror modifier again. And I'll merge it, like increase the merge distance basically. Hopefully everything is working correctly. Okay, so the clipping is not on. We need to turn on clipping as well before increasing the merge distance. Once it's done, we'll get something like this and we can start working on this now. I'll apply the mirror modifier first and turn on the subdivision surface now and check. Like it's way smoother than before. Obviously we can start manipulating things, like I can use proportional editing to give like a shape over here for the skirt, and like scale these down a little maybe. I can change the shape of like proportional editing. I'll use sharp this time instead of smooth. That would give me better results. Okay, so let me show you some textures for on these parts basically. So I don't have like Blender kit installed right now, which I will by next. Okay, so let's go to Google and let's download Blender kit. I'll open a window. You need to maybe let's go and check it in extension if it's available here. Blender kit. Internet access. Okay, allow online access. So Blender kit is not available over here. Let me just open a window and search for Blender kit. I use Blender kit for like materials only. I don't go for like using I'll download Blender kit first of all. I mostly use it for like again materials and not for like models I usually make myself and don't use someone else's models. I have downloaded it. I'll just go to edit preferences and in install available. Okay, so I'll go to add-ons first and then I'll install from disk. Go to downloads and Blender kit, here it is, and I'll install it. It will take some time, I guess, because it works online. Like you need online access for this to work. It is not going to work. Okay, so it has started. I'll save preferences so that I don't have to come back to installing it again or turning it on again. So this is what Blender Kit is. You can go to materials, search for a material like uh, skirt, maybe skirt texture. It might give you some cool options, like this one is really cool, yellow tartan, maybe, whatever the name is. Let's add it to, okay, so I've added that to the pants. I'll undo it, even though it's, I guess, still available. Okay, so first of all, I'll remove all these two skin texture from the pants, and like, so it's for, okay, it got removed. So for, I'll add this texture over here. We need to do some UV unwrapping of this part correctly because it's not working nice, like it's not working nice. So to do that, I'll just press A, U, unwrap by angle, and it looks way better now. I just increase the size by we'll go to like uh, shader editor, and we'll do the changes. For the bottom, I'll use some blue texture or maybe a black one. Black one would be better, I guess, or this blue is better, I think. So for pants, I'll be using this one. We'll do changes to these as well. I'll not use them as is. Definitely, we'll do add something uh, according to what we want. I'll unwrap this again because this is not part of like the full body. So I'll go to UV editor and check. So this is what the UVs of the pants are. I'll do them again, and I'll increase it to 0.02, I guess, and I'll scale them a little bit so that they are inside and not touching the outside uh, island boundary, basically, or my texture set boundaries. I'll go to the skirt part and like unwrap it again. You unwrap by angle, and I'll be scaling these two as well a little. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is like open the shader editor over here, and I'll increase the texture size to maybe like 5 so that there are more patterns. And I'll be adding like a belt texture. So what I can do is add a loop around here. I can move these two vertices up, and need to turn on X symmetry while doing this. And now I'll just add a new material over here, new, and I'll add a cube, maybe GX, and search for like a leather material, and we can use this one. We'll add this to cube so that we get a leather procedural material, and we'll come here and we'll change the material 003 to leather procedure. Let's see if it works. Okay, it wasn't assigned. We need to assign it as well so that it works. Okay, now you can see we have added a belt kind of space over here. What I can do is like select the edge loop all around and like first of all turn off proportional editing. I'll press double G to move it along vertices, obviously, and what I can do is scale it a bit up, and I'll use loop tools to flat. Okay, so flatten doesn't maybe G stretch, no. mm, relax works way better. I'll do the same for like the bottom edge loop, and I guess I'll try this, but I think it will create issues later on. But we can just scale it a little, scale it down on Z. I'll the same material to like these parts as well. Leather, we'll assign it leather. As there is a subdivision surface modifier working, we need to like, I'll be doing it like after I apply the subdivision surface. Okay, so I have gone undo it few times. I'll apply the subdivision surface first, and now I'll scale it, and I'll be like adding some edge. I'll be giving some seams again to this part by right clicking mark seam, and now I'll do unwrap again, and I'll select all the faces, these faces basically on the top bottom of the build area, and material, and add them to assign them to leather basically, so that it gives a feel that a belt is over the cloth part, right? And it looks like way too bulged out basically, which I don't like, so we'll uh, try to fix that thing. We'll select all these four and move them up. Okay, proportioning on, and use maybe sphere type of brush for proportional rating. Okay, no, we'll use inverse only. Sharp only, I guess. Yes, this looks better. I'll scale it on Z axis a little so that it matches the entire build or feel of it, whatever you want to call it. What I'm going to do is I'll select all these and like scale them down a little so that it doesn't look very bulky kind of thing. Yes, seems to work nice. Now I'll be adding some like belt buckles. Okay, buckle is different, but like a loop, all are loops, right, which holds the belt, so we'll be adding those. I'll save the file because I haven't saved it for a very long duration now. I like the color of it. I don't like the color of this yellow thing, so let's change the hue first. Let's check what we can do around or play around with it. I would like something like dark purple or something like this, and even for like the pants I'll be changing the color. Let's see if there is an option to. No, there is no such option right now over here. We'll add it then. We'll add like a color mix. we'll add it over here and we'll turn it to mix, and we'll change the color to like, or I'll select this color over here. Okay, and we can simply increase the factor, or can we just multiply it? Yes, we can do that too. And I want to increase alpha of it, like it should be like skin, basically like that she's wearing something, but like slicks or whatever you girls call it, no idea, but like uh, might have better idea about it. So she is wearing something under, but like it's not uh, a transparent kind of. Let me just check what you guys call it. I have no clue. Uh, Transparent lingerie, maybe. Transparent leggings, basically. Transparent leggings. Sheer leggings. Yes, sheer. Uh, Sheer mesh seam front waisted skinny leggings. Yeah. So sheer skinny leggings. Basically, she is wearing those under. So the part that I don't like now is this. Like I'll just select all this, press O, proportional rating. I'll turn on the proportional rating and like turn it to sphere and scale everything down. Okay. To something like this, and I'll scale some things up over here a little, or go to like sculpt mode and just work around with things a little bit more accurately. I'll go to like solid viewport and we'll be smoothing things out here and there and like pushing things in and out according to how we want it. Let's check. I'll increase the brush a little. We might have to, fix the skirt as well. For that, what I'm going to do is, first of all, like I'll go to edit mode and I'll select this loop. I'll be like doing, first of all, let's relax it. Yes, so that it's equal on all the ends. The bottom one is fine. And I'll do the same for this one. Relax this one as well. Okay. I'll do a SZ0 for, okay, proportional rating is on SZ0. Oh, did I press O? That's why it didn't work. SZ0. Yes, see, much better. SZ0. I'll do the same for like this one, SZ0 and SZ0. And let's check it in our rendered view, how it looks. It looks somewhat like this. Oh, sorry. I'll come out of sculpt mode. I'll go to like object mode, maybe save it. We have to add some colors and stuff to it. Don't worry, we'll be working on that too. Am I audible or not? Yes, the mic is working. I might be definitely audible. So let's work on, what should we work on now? Let's add, actually I think I should add some textures to the skirt. I guess that would be better. 3, I'll select these. I'll turn on proportional editing. I'll select these and press right click and do a relax, and I can even do a circle. Yes, I'll circle them out. I'll do a circle, and even in the influence property I'll decrease the influence. Maybe first of all I am going to delete that cube. I don't need it anymore. And here I'll just scale it down on y-axis and scale this one on y-axis as well, so that it looks somewhat like this. And in sculpt mode I'll increase the brush size. I'll push it in. I'll decrease the brush size again. And nice. I'll increase the brush size again now and move this inwards somewhat like this, and decrease the brush size so that I can just work on this bit. I'll smoothen things out over here. Now I am going to like select these faces which are of my belt. I can also like press L in face select mode so that it will be easier, as we have already like done our UV unwrapping or marked seam correctly, so it will be easier to select. I'll hide these for now and I'll go back to sculpt mode. I'll try some of like the what you call simulation brushes of cloth. I'll add drag, expand, contract, bend boundary cloth. I'll try this one as well, and maybe grab random inner cloth, inflate, pinch folds, pinch cloth, twist boundaries. Okay, so lots of brushes. I don't know which one would work the best, as there are very less subdivision, so it might not give the nice results. So what I'm going to do now is like add another subdivision surface modifier. Maybe let's first check how many vertices. Okay, so it's just 5000 tries and some are hidden like alt edge. Okay, so without hiding them also there are only 5000 some tries. I'll add another subdivision surface. I'll apply that one I'll go to edit mode and like select all these edges in transparent view and hide these. Hide it, man. What's happening? Why is it Alt H? Three. So we need to fix the belt again, as we have subdivided it. It's like not sharp enough, so we'll increase the sharpness of the belt like in a moment. We'll go to sculpt mode again. We'll add a little bit of feel that it's a cloth and not just some just play around with it. And you can obviously at any moment of time like smooth things out if you want to. And we'll go to our render view and check how things are going on at the moment, or how things are looking at the moment. I need to add some inner shirt maybe as well, because like this doesn't look nice. I'll add some buttons over here. So what we can do is maybe delete some of the faces like up till here maybe, right? So let's do solid viewport and see how we can manage to get that sort of result. So I'll mark a seam over here and I'll select this point and use, okay, so now I'll use a sharp or even linear one I can use if I'm correct, GZ. I can decrease, okay, increase the size of the proportional editing. It does a job like that, GY it. So making fake boobs even though she doesn't have any, but yeah, the dress has it, so it looks like she has some breast basically. I'll add some sort of a t-shirt or a shirt under it with a collar maybe, and add some buttons to it. So there is no end basically. You can keep on working and like improving your like model to the point like you are satisfied. So first of all I'll delete this one. So I'll take rest of like an hour or two, because like I have been working for a very long time now. It's almost 2 hours up, so I'll work again after like an hour or two. I'll sit again and just I'll maybe think what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll add a shirt under it first, then add a buckle and some loops around the belt, as many we are required to. And we'll add shoes. We need to add some nails which are not here, add some earrings, a necklace maybe. We have to add a tongue and like teeth for the character. We need to add hairs for it, but I guess so far it's looking pretty nice. Like for like 10 hours of work, this is pretty nice, as we are still under 76,000 tries for the entire model, which is pretty decent. And we might be removing removing like some of the geometry inside the hand over here, because we don't need it, because like the inner geometry which is from the hair to hair is like hidden, so we don't have to be like keeping it. We might remove it after like rigging the character, so we can save on like memory. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll meet after a few hours again and sit on this model and complete it. Like it will take another 6 7 hours, I guess, to like finalize it with everything done, from eyelashes to earrings to like all the accessories and stuff. So far I'll call it a good job done. I'll take out a small render maybe. Okay, something weird is happening. 1 second, let me just turn off like this plane that we were using for like plants. So this is what our character looks like right now. Decent enough, not smiley enough. We'll make her a little smile more. Maybe adjust her lips as well. Like I want a depth over here, which I'll fix, and I'll like increase the size like maybe to this much, so that it looks a little more smiling, I guess, or push these edges over here a little bit downwards, and then we'll call it like a proper face and stuff done. So thank you so much again for joining, and like please like, share, subscribe, comment, and we'll keep on like improving our character and make more videos. I guess I'll be making more videos in the coming year and months, because like I'm working on this project, so I have like a lot of time to like fix all these things, and like I can share my knowledge with you guys. You can ask me questions if you want to. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.